on me steady on my fucking face.
No, I know. Like it's to be to a view of me, David Shebib, in downtown eastside Vancouver, speaking with Bill Quinn, and known Bill for a number of years, and he's got a message, a very powerful message, and I'd like to do an interview with you, Bill, on what that message is and what you want to get across to the public about your perspective as a native living here and what you witness in your, 78 years old now?
Yeah. So anyways, I don't know really where to begin here. Probably would try to have to start from the beginning. Say like they say that the first European that set foot here on this soil, North American First Nations continent, homeland, the first footprint of that European man was the beginning and the end of our nomadic life, our freedom, overlookers, overseers, access to all the Earth's natural resources right here, free. I'd like to mention that the forgotten history is never mentioned. First Nations history. I will say time after time that this is First Nations land, always was, right till now, and always will be. And that should be a compulsory teaching to every European child that goes through the doors of all these universities all across the country. They don't teach it. Some say they do, but I don't think they really do, because there's a lot of discrimination here, that the increase of racial hatred. We had access to this land that I mentioned. We had all the knowledge for 20,000 years, human scientific knowledge on survival on land and on water. And we had experiences with our travel. Our communities were along river banks all across the country up that way, and wherever the river, like Thompson and that, Native people used to live alongside these rivers. That was the wash bathtub and whatever, cleaning. But we were all healthy people. We here's what I wanted to mention. We don't see that anymore here. At my age, say like 1949 or 48, I used to see old men, Native men and old First Nations, long white hair, grandchildren running around all over. And unfortunately, the changing world was seen a long time ago from a lot of these people. I remembered as a youngster going to a ceremony with my grandmother, and the person that was talking said, "It's going to be rough in Cree." our language. It's going to be tough in the future. It's going to be tough. And he meant all these things that are presently here. So anyways, we had the freedom in this country, like I mentioned, and I think this was the Garden of Eden, and this was the paradise right here on this planet. This was it right here. Full control of berries, you name it. We knew how to survive, fish, everything. And that changing world that I mentioned that slowly came along, and all of a sudden they were going to discover this part of the world anyways. They were already scientists. They were trading from one country, continent to the other out there. And somebody navigated over here and explored here and found that, hey, this is it right here. There's been a lot of changes ever since that first man I mentioned set foot on this soil, the European man with his 20,000 years experience on physics, chemistry, science, technology. He was already experienced in all those things. He had them all. He had schools. He had buildings, Roman Empire, you see them. The architectural structures were already born. They discovered how to make a wheel. They discovered steel a long time ago. And they made torture chambers with those things, jails and everything, after they started to develop a system that is presently here. The same kind of a system that progressed to what it is today worldwide in this continent anyway, America and Canada. This is a powerful world where we are dealing with scientists to the human mind. And what happens is they're a group or a gang, call it whatever, but they are a group. They know so many things that they keep them to themselves. So their population increased. I don't know where white race originates from. I don't know. I don't know if they have any land or whatever. I don't know nothing. But they have that technology that they discovered. They had all those things that I mentioned. You know, in the 1300s already gun was invented, swords and axes, those steel armored gear that they wore, horses with. It's been always war, ever since I started to follow the trail of this person that controls our lives today in this country. So that was my learnings of these things. They, to myself, I didn't get taught in residential school. First of all, I spent 10 years in residential school. Came out of there, I was a thief, a liar, and a crook, a con artist, a mind manipulator, you name it. They broke right in half our very survival existence as Aboriginal people of the First Nations of this country. Our family ties. They took children away from father, mother, grandmother, from anyone that loved them, that was raising that poor kid in my case, shoved you to residential school and told you in there your mother don't care for you, your dad don't care for you, nobody cares for you, we love you. You know what? I don't care what anybody says. We have a lot of unspoken individual history of what happened to that person that went to school. Some of them have been abused so much that they couldn't talk about nothing. The wrong was committed by these people that administrated my life for 10 years. You know what? I prayed 16 times a day. 16 times a day in the name of the Father and of the Son, Holy Ghost and all this, and close your eyes and like this. You're forced. If you don't do that, you get slapped or strapped in the hand or something. "5:30 in the morning, some of the kids, we all alternate. They wake us up. Hey, you're going to serve the priest this morning. Tomorrow morning, 5:30. You get up, you're a little child, but you have to go to that church, built in right inside that residential school. So we go and kneeling there, ringing a little bell or this priest, and you can smell that wine he's drinking, you know. Yeah. Holy Communion and all this. We all alternate. I served that priest. Time I was curious. I was a little child. I said, after hearing about God and all this, I said, who created the world here? Who created the earth? And one of them Roman Catholic sisters said, God. Always God. God did this, God did that. God, one day God grabbed a handful of mud and rolled it like this and blew it like that and evolved our Mother the Earth. Can you imagine? That is genocide, rape to the human brain of what was being taught in our case. Those payments that they made for reconciliation, there isn't enough money to give us for all the damages that you've caused us. Look right now, it's pouring rain over there. Put that over there, David. Take a look at the camp. These are people that are living outside here. Right now, right here in Vancouver, Oppenheimer Park. You go and talk to any one of them. First Nation was in a residential school. Roman Catholic, Protestant, Methodist, Holy Rollers, whatever. Hare Krishna and his gang. But this is reality, folks. Right now. A lot of these people got no money, nothing to eat. Right here in this country. Nobody out there in them government gives a hoot. Otherwise, there'd be changes. That's where you want to go and get change. We can't change it ourselves. They divided us so much that there's no... Like a magnet, we're not drawn to each other. It's like a magnet that pulls like this instead of touching whatever. Yeah. So, this is done scientifically again. Everything is done by the human brain. So anyways, we're controlled here pretty... I think that myself personally, when they went through that war that I mentioned, that 300-year war, 350-year war, whatever, that is a long, long war for 350 years. They herded Indians and they killed them. They killed their buffalo. 65 million, they said. I don't know. But I know that there was more Indian people than 65 million. There's been a lot of rhetoric here, a lot of lies, twisted. These people are dealing with us. We're human. You classify me as a savage. Whatever a savage means. But he says I don't understand nothing, I don't know nothing. I'm just occupying space here on Earth. I'm better off dead is what he's saying. And that's why he probably gives us that treatment of living in poverty. These people are rich out there. I mentioned they take a look at us from up their towers up there. And not one of them give a hoot what's going down here because they're brainwashed in their own system. Like I said, every kid should be taught that this was Indian land before your grandfather came here. And how did your grandfather get this continent? He didn't just come here. He killed Indians, slaughtered them, murdered them. Spare no life, spare no mercy. That's unfortunate. And it's time to speak the truth. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not rebelling to the system. Nobody's telling the truth here. That's part of the truth. There's other people that got truth. So many things are going on here. When I went to residential school, when I look back, what did I get out of residential school? How come I'm poor? And then it was due to that education that is out there. I don't think I ever went more than grade 5 in all those years. And a kid today, probably 2 years old, would know more than I did when I got out of residential school. I had a holy rosary bead around my neck here when I was let loose to go out and face this technological world here of today with nothing. Nothing. No school. And a Bible. Here, take this Bible. Read it once in a while. Oh, wow.
So tomorrow you're having a showing. You're at Carnegie Center?
I'm not having a showing. I'm just putting up my artwork. The showing is going to be on October 26th to November 1st or something. It's the city festival. I'm just hanging my pictures for a month at Carnegie Center on the 3rd floor, and they'll be there for the month of whatever remainder of this month of October. So anybody that would probably come up to the 3rd floor and up at Carnegie, come and visit the artwork. Yeah.
All right. So I'll do my best. I'll get you a copy of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get a copy made and get it to you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Well, thank you, Bill Quinn.
Okay, I thank you too. We have to talk to one another. You know, it's time now because it's becoming worse.